Hello, my fellow Nigerians in Yorkshire, family, students, and businesses in the UK diaspora, and our Nigerian families at home. This is the Nigerian Yorkshire Community Network, UKCIC group, in Leeds, in West Yorkshire, in the United Kingdom diaspora. My name is Mr. J. Skolawole, and you're welcome to our YouTube channel. And thank you for everybody that has been listening to our YouTube channel for the comments. Again, sorry. We're not able to send a comment to everybody, but we will respond as soon. Today, as I said, from the recent YouTube videos and Japa about our Nigerian family that lives in the diaspora, and some of our Nigerian families, student families and businesses that are moving to the UK diaspora or anywhere in the Western world, we want to try and use this session to educate you, your family as a student, if you're a professional family, if you're a business, on some of the aspects of and methodology of living in the United Kingdom in order to be able to abide by the UK laws and rules and etc. So today's session is going to be a community educational learning session on child protection and domestic issues for Nigerians in the UK diaspora and at home. It's very important. Even if you're not living in the UK now, you might end up living in the UK or anywhere in the Western world, and it's good to understand the rules on the ground and why. The reason being is basically that we have seen recent issues that has come out, for example, about the UK police telling Nigerian wives, especially the Yoruba Nigerian wives, to stop reporting their husband to them. It has been estimated that 70% of Yoruba women as a Nigerian have been reporting false information. And the police, I will repeat this again, the UK police are not saying that if there's any, in any domestic violence, in any abuse, etc., you're there to report it. You know, I will be the first person to do that. But what our Nigerian wives or African wives, a lot of them, especially the Yoruba, have been doing is that they've been falsifying information, and that falsifying information is for the benefit of welfare benefits, to collect asylum and etc. So we're going to be addressing all these issues under this topic, community education learning session on child protection and domestic issues for Nigerians in the UK diaspora and at home. It's very, very important. And so also I'm going to be briefing you on a recent information from the BBC News. And the BBC News just brought out a news again. This is about our Nigerian family. So first of all, let me bring you a short video about what the UK police are saying. Just hold on for me, please.
Nobody wants to know where his child. But today, what are we seeing? It's the opposite. It's the opposite. I think we need to change our orientation. Those of you that feel like, oh, your husband is not important, go back to the root. See that man, even though he's not doing anything, being at home, sometimes you might want to talk to your child, but your child might not want to listen to you. You might want to listen to his dad. If the dad says, stop it, that child might stop it. But maybe as a mother, you're there on your own, you say stop it, you just say, what is she saying? But when the daddy says stop, he will stop. Even though the man is not doing it, let's try as much as possible to manage it. I know there's nothing like manage, but sometimes it's the way we build our home, because our women feel like the man is nobody because of the way the society we find ourselves. Some of us back home, don't pay the benefit.
No.
But at the bottom, ìjọba fún wa lówó, ó fún wa gbogbo ẹ̀, àgbàgbé gbogbo ẹ̀, benefit. And iṣẹ́, wọ́n ní ká ṣiṣẹ́ kò dọ́là o. Bó bá bí ọba fẹ́ kí ọ̀ṣiṣẹ́ títí tí ilẹ̀ máa fi mọ́, tọ́lọ́run bá pè mọ́ èèyàn, pé èèyàn máa ń ṣoríire. Ìbùkún Ọlọ́run. ẹlẹ́wọ̀n kan ní ìláyé yìí àwa síbi nítòótọ́ afẹ́ help àwọn tó wà lẹ́ ìkópa nǹkan mi tó jẹ́ kí àwọn èèyàn mi ṣiṣẹ́ kó pọ̀ sisters brothers they phone you. You go back home and see some of them, they're looking better than me and you. But when they call you, ring, you will think that if you don't send to them, they will die next minute. Think about your home here. This is your home. This is where you live. The society we are living, if we allow it to be corrupted with the attitudes of the children of the youth of today, it becomes problem. It's not just for the police, it's for everybody. All those children that they've been killed, you get to, you say, maybe if your child is not at home, you'll be thinking, oh, where is this child? Where is my daughter? Where is my son? Until that child enter the house before you can have peace of mind. Before you can have peace of mind. We just try to help. The situation, we have to work together. As my colleague said, we have to work together. He said, clap hands together, it make it work. But if you just say, no, I don't want to say anything, I don't want to do this. We, the police here.
Okay, so that's the short video about, how the UK police are advising our Nigerian wives, Yoruba wives especially, because they know that the percentage of their reporting, false information and reporting of is actually higher on the Yoruba Nigerian wives. And this is what we need to look at. The UK police there, which is basically a combination of some Nigerian, there's a Nigerian police, there's lots of Western police, white police that are there. They are there basically to give advice in a church to Nigerians that this is not the best way. Don't falsify information because you want to get rid of your husband. Getting rid of your husband, you're creating issues for yourself. For a family of 4, how can you, as a woman, wants to have the opportunity to manage all those children? So that's why I play you a short video on there. Okay, another situation is basically that we have seen lots of Nigerians that they don't really understand what Child Protection Act is, the UK Child Protection Act. They don't understand the safeguarding policy, and this is why this session is going to break it down. We're going to break it down, and why is basically looking at this. There is another situation that just happened of recent, and this is about our Nigeria putting their selfish interest first, before their child. And we have seen Nigerians that have been doing this. Nigerians will have 2 to 3 or 4 kids. What they will do is basically, all because they want to work, they just want to get money to go and do shopping and to pay, etc., to pay their bill. We know people have to pay their bills. They will leave their children at home and lock the door, and at the end of the day, something tragedy will happen. And this is a situation which I will show you. This was covered by BBC. Just hold on for me, please. So this is the situation of a Nigerian. Is a nurse whose baby died after she left him alone in the jail because of support work. It was a nurse. As you can see on my computer, I'm showing it to you. And when you look at it, is Ruth Atwa had tried to flee the country ahead of her sentencing. The Bolton Crown Court in Manchester, knew this. When I read the information, I was not happy. This is a nurse that have a 10-week-old baby, and she normally has a child care, I guess. But I think on that day, maybe all because of money, basically maybe all because, or maybe you couldn't get hold of the child care, but you have to go to work. You left the baby alone, maybe in a wrapper, and even if you can't get in touch with the child care, you wait for the child care. Why do you have to leave your baby? So eventually, when she came back, she went out, and what the police was saying is that she left the house around 6:47. Left the house around 6:47 and returned 3 o'clock. Just almost 8 hours. And when he got back home, the child, was not breathing, and by the time they were able to resuscitate, she lost that child. And when she went to the court, this is on BBC, so if you want to check it, you'll see. And when she went to the court, explaining to the police, she lied to the police, and she knew that she was guilty, and she confessed, and but she was trying to flee. And by the time she was trying to fly from Gatwick Airport, UK, she was caught, with a one-way ticket trying to run back to Nigeria. So now she has been jailed, and unfortunately, this has happened to that child. And I think that she should ask forgiveness from God, from Allah, for what has happened to that little baby who was supposed to come to this world. So this is another thing that we're going to be talking about: child protection, safeguarding, domestic abuse, and etc. Please hold on, please. Okay, so carrying on, and as I've said, our session today is to educate our Nigerian families in the diaspora and at home. And this is on this is community educational learning session on child protection and domestic issues for Nigerians in the diaspora and at home. And what we're trying to do is that our organization, Nigerian Yorkshire Community Network, wants to be there, wants to educate Nigerians. You can come, you can ask questions. If you come to this country, you want to settle down, you can contact us. Our website is www.nycn.org.uk. Our email is admin@nycn.org.uk. You can send us an email. If you come to this country, how do you live? So this session is about living in the UK diaspora. What are the UK laws and UK laws and UK laws that you have to abide by? Which are priorities? And this is why we're going to be talking about child protection. It's about your child. It's about the safeguarding of your child. It's about understanding domestic violence, domestic abuse is very, very important. If you don't keep to this, if you violate any of this, including myself, we will all be prosecuted, we will all be jailed. It's that simple. So this is an advice to you, whether you live in the UK or anywhere in the diaspora, America or Canada or at home, and even if you're trying to come in, this is a lesson. So I'm going to start this, and understanding the laws and living in the UK is very important for Nigerians, whether you're a student, families, or business. We're going to talk about the Child Protection Act, family domestic violence, family domestic abuse, safeguarding policy, and working with your community group or charity in your area. Whenever you get to an area, whether in Leeds, where we are, or in London, or Kent, or Cardiff, or anywhere, try and join the nearest Nigerian community. They will help you. It will help you. So today, we're going to be talking about child protection. And what is child protection anyway? What is child protection? People say, what is child protection? The child protection is a UK child protection, which is always called as child welfare, is a safeguarding of children from violence, exploitation, abuse, and neglect. It involves identifying signs of potential harm. This includes responding to allegations, suspicions of abuse, providing support and services to protect children, and holding those who have harmed them accountable. That is very important. When you say who have harmed them, like the woman I was talking about that left a child, left a child in the house and went for work. That is who's accountable. You, family, daddy and mommy is accountable. Don't think that, you can't be saying that, my wife left it. No, if anything happens between, whether it's the wife that was supposed to look after the child at that time, both of you will go to jail. Your responsibility, whenever you move to this country, everything you have to do, you want to study, you want to work, your child becomes number one. The priority of your child. And if you don't look after that child, you don't take the child to school on time, you don't pick them on time, you don't feed them, you don't look after them, the welfare, you'll be prosecuted. The social will take you, the police will arrest you. It's very simple. So as I was saying, the primary goal of the child protection is to ensure that all children are safe and free from harm or danger. Child protection also works to prevent future harm by creating policies and systems that identifies and responds to risk before they lead to harm. What are the type of child protection? The first one was the Child Protection Act 1989, and the recent one, an update from the Child Protection 1989, now that has been updated, is now Child Protection Act 2004. It's simple. Now, in order to achieve these goals, research suggests that child protection service should be provided in a holistic way. This means taking into account the social, economic, cultural, physical, and environmental factors that can contribute to the risk of harm for individual children and their family or vulnerable. Collaboration across sectors and disciplines to create a comprehensive system of support and safety. What that means is that everybody, schools, organizations, charity groups like us, they should have a system to protect children within their activities, within their organization. If they don't have that, that is a big problem. It is the responsibility of individuals, that's family, you and your husband, or organization and government, to ensure that children are protected from harm and their rights are respected. This includes providing a safe environment for children to grow and develop, protecting them from physical, emotional, and sexual abuse, and ensuring they have access to education, healthcare, and resources to fulfill their basic needs. It's very simple. If you're not looking after your children, you're not feeding them, you're not looking after their well-being, if they're too cold, if they're too hot, etc., your role is to make sure all those children are comfortable. From the age of when we give birth to our children up to the age of 18 before they become an adult, the responsibility of that children is for you. It's very simple. Whether you're daddy or mommy or family, is your responsibility. If all those children are crying, whichever way, is your responsibility. And if anything goes wrong, you will be prosecuted, whether you're in the UK, whether you're in Nigeria. I know that Nigerian is getting harder on all those aspects of things now. Okay. Now, what are the 5 P's, which is the 5 principles of child protection? Is paramountcy of children, parental responsibility, prevention, partnership, and protection. All these things you can check. If you go on Google, type in child protection 2004, child protection 1989, you'll be able to get it. It's as simple as that. And we want everybody to understand. Now, child abuse. Child abuse is when anyone under the age of 18 is either being harmed or not properly looked after. There are 4 categories of child abuse: physical abuse, emotional abuse, sexual abuse, and neglect. So what happened to that lady was basically, it would fall under neglect. You neglected your child because of your self-interest. You understand? So, and this is why, she has been prosecuted. So if you neglect your child, unnecessarily, you don't pay attention to them. And I'll give you an example again for those people that don't understand. Child neglect is what happens to this lady. Just hold on. So as I was saying, child neglect. This is child neglect that has been reported by BBC. A nurse whose baby died after she left him alone, jailed. She left the baby alone because she wants to go and look for a 2 hours job, 8 hours job, and that baby ended up dying. So the news is on BBC. You can go and track it, okay? Just to bring you back. So as I was saying, that is child neglect. 4 principles of child abuse: physical abuse, if you harm your children; emotional abuse, sexual abuse, and neglect. It's very simple. So I'm going to move on to the next one, which is talking about safeguarding policy. The safeguarding policy is basically a policy, UK safeguarding policy, very strong. And just to introduce myself, I'm a project manager, I'm a community leader, I'm the founder and the president of the Nigerian Yorkshire. I'm a DSO, I'm a designated safeguarding officer for the Nigerian Yorkshire Community Network. And we have our own policy that guides vulnerable children. This is our own policy. And it has been updated. And it will be updated in October 2024. So this is our safeguarding policy. Anybody that wants to look at it, and this is why I, as the DSO for the organization, will make sure that any abuse that is being reported to me, we have to work on it. We have to work with the local safeguarding authority to make sure that that person, that person, whether vulnerable or children or any adult, we get justification for them, and that is our role. What is UK safeguarding policy? Safeguarding policy in the UK are designed to protect children and vulnerable adults from abuse and neglect. Here are some of the examples of safeguarding policy in the UK. Safeguarding policy means protecting a citizen's health, well-being, and human rights, enabling them to live free from harm, abuse, and neglect. It is an integral part of providing high-quality healthcare. And most of you that works in the care sector, support sector, even in schools and organization, charities, these are the things that you need to have. You need to have your own safeguarding policy. If you don't have a safeguarding policy as a charity organization or community group, or even any organization dealing with children, our organization, we deal with a lot of children. We have the Kids and Youth Club. You must have it. If you don't have it, once you will be prosecuted, because you need to make sure you have a system how you can identify if there is going to be an harm to children or adult or vulnerable within your community. Also, we have the Care Act 2014. Places a general duty on the local authority to promote the well-being of individuals who carry out care and support functions, like our community group, like your charity, like organization, like healthcare, like support work. Safeguarding adults comes under the Care Act 2014. For more information, please view the Safeguarding Act on Google. child safeguarding policy. The UK government has required organizations that work with children to have a safeguarding policy since the 1970s. You know, I just said that if you're a charity, if you're a community group, organization, you know, that you're functioning, and you're working with children, you don't have all these policies like our own, you know, you're taking a risk. Okay, these policies applies to both paid employee and volunteers, and including clear guidance for reporting suspected abuse or neglect. All our volunteers, they're DBS checked, they have their safeguarding policy, and we do lots of training. And I make sure that every volunteer within our organization update us with their safeguarding policy, DBS, child protection certificate. It's very important. If you want to work with us on our children event, etc., you know, you have to have all those policies and training. Otherwise, we cannot accept you. Because according to this policy we have in our organization, that is a requirement for you to volunteer for us. Okay. So going on, we talked about DSO. The DSO is the designated safeguarding officer. I'm the designated safeguarding officer for the Nigerian Yorkshire Community Network. Stands for and another role for is the nominated child protection lead. You know, their functions are similar, but again, there's a bit of difference. And it's a role that involves taking the lead on safeguarding and child protection within an organization. So if there is a role, but if there is an issue or an abuse or potential or tendency for an adult or vulnerable or children to be harmed, we have to look into that in terms of our policy, in terms of our risk assessment and management. They are responsible to ensuring the safeguarding policy is kept up to date. We update our policy every 2 years, updated and completed organization every 2 years. So we do that. Our own, we actually update it every year, which is so what are the principles of the safeguarding policy? Is empowerment, supporting people to make their own decisions and give informed consent, prevention, taking actions before harm occurs, proportionality, responding in the least intrusive way that is appropriate to the risk, protection, providing support and representation for those in the greatest need, people that need safeguarding, people that need child protection, like you, your children, and your family. Partnership, working with communities to find local solutions. Accountability, being transparent and accountable in safeguarding. Safeguarding is important because people who are vulnerable due to age, illness, disability, or mental health issues may not be able to protect themselves from abuse, neglect, or harm. Organizations and community needs to work together to prevent and stop this risk. And that is what we do. That is what we do within our organization, and we will continue to do that to make sure that our safeguarding policy continue to benefit our people. So as I was saying, what we need to elaborate on the child protection. Child protection is very important. I was a recent YouTube channel we talked about this, and we did lots of Japa video. It's about when I first started this session, it's about wives, you know, husband. It's not only wife that does it, but it's always eye on the wife's side, reporting their husband. If there is real domestic violence, which we do not condone any violence in any shape or form within our society, within our community. Our organization will be the first to report to the police if there is anybody that is abusing their wife. A man, a decent man, a responsible man should not lay their hands on their wife, should not lay their hands on their wife. And a decent wife should not lay their hands on a woman, on a man. It's very, very important. You know, we know that our women are very emotional, but we have to find a way within a marriage to work things out. You know, we don't want, the police does not have interest in breaking families, taking child away. But if it's necessary, the police will act. And that is very important. We want people to understand that. You know, if you're a wife in the house, try to compose yourself. Yeah, you're very emotional. Oh, my husband is doing this, my husband is not doing this, etc. like that. If you start throwing chairs and tables and etc. and basically, what do you expect? So what it is not only the husband that does abuse or violence against the wife can also do that. There are so many ways of violence. It can be emotional, it can be verbal, it can be, a lot of things. It's not only physical. So what you need to understand as a wife, the way you talk, you abuse, you belittle your husband, you belittle your wife, it's an abuse. And that needs to be stopped. Any situation that is getting to a situation, you don't need to rush to the police if there is no factual evidence. If there is just a verbal argument in between you, you can sit down and sort it out. You don't end up calling the police because you're wasting police resources. And that doesn't mean that if there is any violence, if there is any abuse, that needs to be reported to the police. We have always said that. It's very simple. And from our previous video, we want people to go back and have a look at it. The domestic abuse also is there. The abuse of the children, etc. If you have your children, if it's naughty, if the children is naughty or the child is naughty, there is always a way to discipline them. We have seen situations where, the child will get to school, the teacher will report to the social will bring the police will arrest the husband, and etc. or the wife. Your dealing with your children is your priority. We talked about child protection earlier. Child protection is key. If you don't look after your children, you will be prosecuted. You're in a country. So coming to this country, these things are helpful. And this is why we're giving you tips and advice on how you can deal with these things. Abuse is not allowed. You are not meant to be abusing your wife. Some husband, coming from Nigeria, they bring their behavior. You start punching your wife. You start beating your wife. You're going to go to jail. You're not meant to touch her. When you married her, during that tradition, did they tell you that she's your punching bag? All because you're upset, all because things has grown. We said that whenever you're leaving Nigeria, you know what you're getting yourself into. Although they say UK is the land of milk and honey, America is the land of milk and honey, or Canada, etc. When you get here, things will change. With 1 or 2 or 3 children, things will change for you. Because the husband has to work, the wife has to work, the children has to go to school. Who has to take that responsibility? I've told you, immediately you step foot in the land of United Kingdom, your priority for your own goes down, the children priority comes up. The children protection, safeguarding is number 1. And if all those things are violated, so child protection, I told you that it can be physical abuse, it can be emotional abuse, it can be sexual abuse, it can be neglect. It's simple as that. And if you violate all those things, like the lady that left the baby in the house, and a lot of our Nigerian people or African people, they do that. Because of their selfish interest, they look for money, they want to go and do shopping. I want to quickly go and do 2 hours. That 2 hours will lead you to jail. And that is what led this woman to jail. It is not allowed. It should not be allowed. So this is why we're giving you this community educational learning session on child protection and domestic issues for Nigerians in the diaspora and at home. Not only for Nigerians in the diaspora, for you at home as well. Okay? It's very important. Working with your community group and charity in your area is very important. When you get to this country, if you're coming to our area, look for us. It's very simple. Once you go on Google, I'm coming to Yorkshire. Where are you coming? Type in Nigerian Yorkshire. Type in Nigerian communities in Yorkshire. We will come up. There's lots of them. Then you can get in contact. Then they will show you how to live in this country. This session is about understanding the laws and living in the United Kingdom. And if you don't understand it, please do. We're going to be having a Zoom session, live session, where we'll bring everybody in. Everybody will be able to ask questions. But even if you ask questions, you can leave a comment. Leave a question, we will answer all those things. Okay? But it's very important, please. I urge you, I beg you, please, my Nigerian students, families, and businesses. Coming to this country, there's a lot of sacrifice you have to give. And may the Lord not let everything you have done, bringing your children here, your education, your work, your business, don't let everything go in vain. Look at that lady that now is going to jail. It's not, whenever you abuse children, leaving children alone in a house is an abuse on its own. They will put you in the category of pedophile. They will put you in the category of people that are hate that a lot of people hate. And that is what I'm trying to say. You cannot escape this thing. Don't think that I'm in my house, I'm going to lock my children in. Don't think I want to go and do that 2-hour walk. We have seen lots of abuse within our community. We have seen Nigerians that have called themselves an agent, promising Nigerians they will give them COS, and they've taken their money. You will be caught. It's as simple as that. You cannot escape all this. This is why we need to educate you. Community educational learning session on this aspect of domestic violence, domestic issues, child protection, safeguarding policy is very important for you. You might not think that is important. What we're telling you, we're not telling you to pay any money. I don't need your rating. What I'm trying to do as a community leader is to help our Nigerian families who are here to show them how to live, whether you live in Leeds or Yorkshire in the United Kingdom, is very important for you. And that is why we're doing this. Okay? So for me, as a designated safeguarding officer for our community, I'm offering you a free training, basically to go through these sessions. If you don't understand what child protection is, go to child protection, go and look at it on Google. We have, as I've told you, child protection 1989, child protection 2004. We have the safeguarding policies. Everything is there. And if you have any questions, send us an email at admin@nysn.org.uk. Check our website out. I'll be putting this on our website so that people can go through it. It's very simple. We've seen a lot of people report their husband because they want to get benefit, because they have 4 kids, or because you have small arguments with your husband. You now go and report your husband, and the police will come and remove your husband. Who's going to suffer? Is you. Because you want benefit on all those children. You want to be making money. You want to claim asylum seeker. You want to claim refuge. And that is the problem. If you're a good wife, the first day when you met that man, you got married to that man, why should you go and report? And we have some men that are brutal as well. They bring their wife because they're the one that brought him down. The way they will be treating them, they will be treating the wife, as if it's their slave. All these things are going to be known. The police can accuse you if you're misusing your opportunity, without doing your bit. There is modern slavery, which is a very serious offense. There's servitude, which is a very serious offense. If you're in the house, you should do your bit as a husband. I do my bit. I empty the bin. I go to the market. I will, at the end of the day, I go to the market. If I have someone living with me, I will do the same. I will go to the market. Send me the list. I do that. For me, I'm very hardworking. I will cut the grass outside. I will empty the bin. You don't need to leave everything, because our women, when you have 4 kids, they look after all those children. They know. So why can't you help them? But some men are so lazy. Some men are so disgraceful. They can't put food on the table. And this is why all these things happen. But and this is why all these things turns into domestic violence. Domestic violence or abuse does not just happen in a family. It's when you don't manage yourself properly, especially the man. And we know that he has said in the Bible, the husband is the head of the family, the wife should be submissive. But all because you are the head of the family doesn't mean that, Joko, sit down there. No, you can't. She's not your slave. And at the same time, the women as well, the husband is not your punching bag. Because you're upset, you start breaking things, you start throwing something. You know that at the end of the day, the man is even have more strength than you. But a woman is a responsible woman, should have a kind of a respect for herself. And all these women, they go on YouTube, they go on social media to get all these acts. Some of them, we knew that some of them, they engage themselves in this person that is from Nigeria called Nika TNT, and that she has destroyed families, and people are subscribing to her bad behavior as a Christian or Muslim. So this act of Nigerian wives, Yoruba wives reporting their husband is always high on the Yoruba wives. You will get it from the Hausas, Igbo, or Edo, or any other tribe. And if it happens, it's not supposed to happen. So this is a general message for Nigerians in general, Nigerian families, whether you're a wife or husband. We should behave ourselves. If you know that you can't care for a family, don't start a family. If you know that you cannot, live in a country where you can live with your wife, or because you have small argument, on the day when you married your wife or they married your husband, the vow was that during hard time, during good time, you'll be together. During the stormy seas, you'll be together. But when little thing happen, some women wants to take an opportunity. They've been having that grudge in Nigeria. Immediately they get to the diaspora, small thing will happen, they will go and report to the police. What do you expect the police to do? We have seen situations, the police will come down, and they say, oh, sorry, was there any violence? No, there was no any evidence of violence. You yourself, you tell the police there's no violence. The husband will say there's no violence. Why did you call us? It's as simple as that. It happens to everybody. It has happened to me, But at the end of the day, people have to move on. We see lots of women, lots of Nigerian and African women, Yoruba women especially, They fabricate stuff because they want to make money, they want to get benefit, they want to get their own asylum, because they know that once they have their own asylum, the government will be giving them free money, they will be giving them free house, they don't need to pay bill. You're joking yourself. You're killing yourself. If you leave the first husband, second husband, you go to the third, you will never settle down with an husband because of your attitude. Whether you're a woman or a man. And if you have children, you can carry on all those children from A to B to C. All those children, they will turn up not to be responsible. So the responsibility of children growing up is not only for the wife. The wife should take that up there. All because you're in the Western world, you think that the Western world is women's world. No, it's not. It's not. The government has protection for everybody, whether you're etc. But they know that the woman or the lady, they're very vulnerable, and the children, they're vulnerable. That is where. But if you present a false information reporting your husband, it will come back and bite you, and you end up in jail. We have seen husbands that have committed suicide, that have passed away, they've run to mental health. By the time they did a thorough investigation, going back again, that woman was jailed. Because they said, you lied, there was nothing happened within, whereas it's the opposite. Your husband has been looking after you, buy you clothes, look after your children. We have seen wives that have brought a child from previous marriages, and the current husband looks after, and that child, because of paper, you will see some Nigerian women, they're married to a man, they will accuse their husband of rape. Yes, we know that it's possible, but the fact that at the end of the day, you have a motive. You have a motive. It's either you want to collect benefit, you think the UK was going to give you benefit, they're going to give you a free house. You're deceiving yourself. You're a shame to your family, to your community, to your country, and to yourself. That image will follow you till death. So we are here to tell you the truth. The truth might not be bitter. For those people that are listening to this YouTube, you might think that, oh, this is the young version, you're not going to listen to it. It will come back. And for those Nigerian husbands that are there, their family is going on well, please work together. This can happen to anybody. When it happened to me, I did not expect it, because at the end of the day, you do your part. I don't engage in violence. I don't expect any man to engage in violence with a woman. Don't lay your hands on a woman. Don't. If something happens in between you, if it's coming to that violence, but everybody should go their separate ways. It's simple. Peacefully, amicably, and make sure you share the responsibility for the children. Don't let the children suffer. Who suffers most is the children. But with your selfish interest, and is this and that, you know when you married him, but all because something has gone wrong, your selfish interest has put all those children in danger. And this is why you see them when they grow up, these are children that are being killed in London, Birmingham, Manchester, and some other areas. They get stabbed, they get involved in gangs, they start smoking, doing drugs. It's all because of your fault. Because you're irresponsible woman, responsible mother, responsible father, responsible family. Everything will be blamed on you. Not only the wife, not only the husband. But as a Christian, you need to uphold your Christian's value, your Muslim values, etc. So to end this session, this is what we're talking about, working with your community. Whenever you have issues, that you can approach your organization. You can approach us. We're based in Leeds, in Amley. Give us a call, send us a mail. We can give you an advice. If we don't, we will send someone else to help. We have experts. We can work with our umbrella body. We can work with other charities to help your family. Don't break your family. Don't let the police break your family. We don't want police, UK police or social, to be breaking your family, to be taking your children off you. But they will do so if they have to protect all those children, to protect the family, because that is part of the UK Child Protection Act. That is part of the family domestic violence laws, family domestic abuse laws, safeguarding policy laws. And everybody has to bear that in mind. So to finish this up, I want to say thank you to everybody. I hope that this has been very educative. If you have any question, drop us an email. But again, this is a session, community education learning session on child protection and domestic issues for Nigerians in the UK diaspora or any other diaspora and at home. Not only people, it's for you at home as well, okay? May the Lord continue to bless you. So I'm going to end this, and thank you so much. And this has been brought by the Nigerian Yorkshire Community Network. My name again is Mr. J. Skolaoli. I'm the founder and the president, and all these sessions we will continue to do so. We're going to be doing a session on this community education to help family how to understand, how to live and understand the laws and living in the United Kingdom. It's very important to us, and we have taken it as a priority, and we're going to make sure we continue to implement it to benefit you and your family, who you are coming, if you're coming from Nigeria or basically families that are already here. Please stay tuned, and you can share this with your colleague. It's very important. What the message we have conveyed today is about you, is about your children, because our children are leaders of tomorrow. Whatever you do as a wife or husband, please, you know, yeah, things can go wrong. There can be challenges. Please, let's work together as a community. If there's issue before you, call the family, call your community leaders, sort it out. But if it's something that, okay, you can't live together anymore because it has gone to that violent stage, then basically at the end of the day, everybody can separate peacefully, amicably, but to make sure that they protect the child by both of you sharing. Don't let when the children is with the wife, mommy, where is daddy? Where the children is with my daddy, where is mommy? You feel guilty. May the Lord not let us see the burial ground of our children. I will end it this way. Take care of yourself. God bless you. Take care. Bye-bye.